Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine for a moment that the creator of the universe, the one who made the stars, the oceans, and every living thing, has a plan for you, a plan that is not just for survival, but for significance. A plan that is not just to live, but to fulfill your purpose, your destiny, and to make an impact. Now, the question that arises is there anything more powerful than God's plan for you? Let me tell you, when you understand the magnitude of God's plan for your life, you begin to realize that no obstacle, no situation, no person, and no force in this world can derail it. The plan that God has for you is not just a blueprint of your life. It is a divine strategy designed by the Creator Himself. And when God makes a plan, He doesn't make mistakes. There is nothing that can compare to it. You are not here by accident. You are not the result of chance. You were purposefully placed on this earth, designed to fulfill a specific mission. Your life is not random. It is a divine assignment. From the moment you were conceived, your life has been part of a divine purpose. It is not by coincidence that you are here. God, the creator of the universe, made you intentionally, designed you for a unique purpose, and gave you everything you need to fulfill that purpose. When you begin to understand this, it changes how you view your life and everything around you. You are not just a random result of biological processes. You were created with a specific plan in mind, a plan that goes beyond mere existence. The beauty of this truth lies in the depth of God's intention for your life. Every moment, every experience, and every detail of your being has been orchestrated by a creator who knows you better than anyone else ever could. He understands your strengths and weaknesses, your passions and struggles, and He has carefully crafted a purpose that aligns perfectly with who you are. His plan for you isn't generic or vague. It's tailored to your specific gifts, talents, and desires. No one else can fulfill the purpose He has for you because it's uniquely yours. This isn't just about surviving life, it's about living with direction, significance, and meaning. The divine nature of God's plan means that it is filled with wisdom and love. Unlike human plans, which can be faulty or short-sighted, God's plan is perfect. It is not subject to error or chance. He has foreseen every challenge and provided the strength you need to overcome it. His plan for you is bigger than you can comprehend, because it is connected to His greater purpose for humanity, the world, and creation itself. Everything He has designed for your life is interconnected in a way that only He understands, yet He invites you to be a part of it. It is a plan that draws you into something greater than yourself, something that is eternally significant. When you begin to embrace the reality of God's plan for your life, it also changes the way you approach difficulties and challenges. Rather than seeing setbacks as signs of failure or frustration, you begin to view them as opportunities for growth and alignment with God's purpose. The struggles you face are not random or meaningless. They are part of a larger design, a design that refines you, strengthens your character, and prepares you for the greatness that God has planned for you. Your trials serve a purpose. They are shaping you for the future God has already prepared. Understanding that God's plan for your life is both divine and purposeful leads to a sense of peace and confidence. You no longer have to wonder why you are here or what your life is meant to accomplish. You can trust that you are here for a reason. The creator of the universe, who designed the stars and the galaxies, has also designed your life with intentionality and purpose. There is no accident in your existence. You have been placed on this earth with a mission that only you can fulfill. This understanding brings freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, and freedom from the pressure of trying to figure everything out on your own. When you align with God's plan, you stop relying on your own limited understanding and begin to trust in His divine wisdom. You realize that you do not have to carry the weight of life's decisions alone. You are part of a bigger picture, a picture that God has been painting long before you ever took your first breath. Living with the awareness that God's plan for you is divine and purposeful brings you into alignment with your true self. It unlocks a life of fulfillment, peace, and joy. When you live according to the purpose God has given you, you begin to experience life as it was meant to be experienced. It is a life filled with meaning, direction, and significance. Each step you take, each decision you make, and each day you live becomes an expression of the divine purpose that God has for you. There is nothing more powerful than knowing that your life is part of something bigger, and that the creator of the universe has a specific plan just for you. When you grasp the truth that God's plan for your life cannot be derailed, you begin to see the world through a different lens. Life is full of unpredictability, and at times the road may seem uncertain or filled with obstacles. You may face challenges, disappointments, and even failures, but understanding that God's plan for you is unshakable gives you an unmovable foundation. No matter what you experience, no matter how impossible the situation may seem, the truth remains nothing can disrupt what God has purposed for your life. The assurance that God's plan is unchangeable stems from the fact that He is sovereign. His power and authority are above everything in the world. Nothing on earth or beyond it can alter His will for your life. The systems of this world, the forces of nature, and even the actions of others are under His control. While human beings may try to interfere or manipulate situations, they cannot override God's sovereign will. The very things that may seem like obstacles to you are often the tools God uses to move you toward your destiny. What may appear as a setback is actually part of a much greater plan that is unfolding, one that is designed to refine you, build your character, and prepare you for the next phase of your journey. The beauty of God's plan is that it is not contingent on your perfect decisions or your flawless execution. His plan is not fragile. It does not depend on whether you get everything right. In fact, you may make mistakes, you may wander off course, or you may take detours along the way. Yet, despite all this, God's plan will still prevail. Even when you falter, God's ability to redirect you and restore you is greater than any detour you may take. He has a way of making all things work together for good, even when you don't see how it will all come together. His plan is so perfect and all-encompassing that even your failures, your mistakes, and the wrong turns you take are integrated into His ultimate purpose for your life. Consider the stories of great figures in the Bible. Joseph, for instance, faced betrayal, imprisonment, and years of hardship, yet God's plan for his life was never derailed. Even in the darkest moments when it seemed like his life had been completely uprooted, God was orchestrating events to position him for His ultimate purpose. Joseph's journey wasn't smooth, yet God's plan for him remained on track. Likewise, the Apostle Paul endured shipwrecks, beatings, imprisonment, and much suffering, but none of it could deter God's purpose for him. The challenges they faced did not defeat them. Instead, they strengthened their resolve and proved that God's plan cannot be thwarted by human circumstances. This truth offers you hope when you feel like things are falling apart, when life feels uncertain, or when you're not where you thought you would be. Trust that God's plan remains intact. No matter how chaotic the world around you may become, God is still in control. The ups and downs of life are part of the process, but they do not change the destination. You may not always understand why things are happening the way they are, but trust in the certainty that God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. There is also a comforting truth in knowing that God's plan is bigger than any setback. It is beyond the scope of human understanding, and its reach extends through time, space, and eternity. Even when it seems like a door has closed or a dream has been dashed, God is working behind the scenes, setting things in motion for the fulfillment of His purpose. No door is truly closed unless it is part of God's ultimate plan to open another, better one. No disappointment is permanent, because God has the ability to take what looks like failure and turn it into success, to take what seems like a defeat and make it a victory. When you recognize that God's plan cannot be derailed, you stop seeing life as a series of random events. Instead, you begin to see it as a divine journey that has already been mapped out. The obstacles you encounter become less daunting because you know they are not the end of the story. They are simply chapters that lead to something greater. Even in moments of doubt, you can hold on to the assurance that God is still at work. His timing is perfect, and He will guide you toward your purpose in His perfect timing, regardless of the challenges you face. In every situation, whether good or bad, trust that God's plan is moving forward. His purpose for you is certain, and no matter what happens, it cannot be derailed. It is a plan that will endure through every storm, every trial, and every circumstance. When you look at your life, what do you see? Do you see the present moment, the struggles, the accomplishments, or the unanswered questions? Often we view our lives through the lens of our immediate circumstances, limited by what is right in front of us. Yet God's vision for your life is far beyond what your natural eyes can perceive. His vision for you transcends your current situation, your current understanding, and even your present limitations. What you see today is only a small fragment of a much larger picture. God's vision for your life is eternal, vast, and boundless. It is not confined to the here and now, to the challenges you face today or the victories you've had in the past. It goes beyond the walls of your current reality and stretches into the future, into a future that is more glorious and significant than you can imagine. The vision that God has for you is not limited to the temporary. It is rooted in eternity, and it encompasses not just your personal success, but also your impact on the world, the lives you will touch, and the legacy you will leave. Often, our understanding of our purpose is clouded by the immediate struggles we face, the opinions of others, or the pressures of society. We get caught up in measuring success by worldly standards, by what we have, by how much we accomplish, by how we compare to those around us. But God's vision for your life is not defined by these fleeting measures. He does not see you through the lens of your current achievements or failures. He sees you through the lens of your potential, your divine calling, and your eternal purpose. Imagine that you are a piece of a grand masterpiece, a single note in a symphony that spans across time. You may not always understand the part you play in the greater picture, but each part is significant. Even when you can't see how your life fits into the grand design, know that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating your life with precision and love. The vision He has for you is a vision of transformation, not just of external circumstances, but of your very being. It's a vision that takes into account your potential, your growth, your learning, and your eventual impact. What you see today may be a picture of limited resources, small beginnings, or even struggle, but God sees beyond that. He sees the end from the beginning. He sees the legacy you will leave, the lives you will touch, the influence you will have, and the fullness of your potential. His vision for your life isn't limited to your present reality. He sees you walking in your purpose, achieving the dreams He's placed in your heart, and making a difference in ways you may not fully understand right now. This broader vision is not just about you achieving success in the traditional sense. It's about aligning with God's purpose for your life in a way that brings Him glory. It's about living with a sense of eternal significance, knowing that every choice you make, every step you take, every challenge you face is part of a greater divine plan. The struggles you encounter are not just obstacles, they are opportunities for growth, lessons that will shape you, and stepping stones that will lead you closer to the fulfillment of God's vision for your life. In the midst of uncertainty, or when things seem unclear, remember that God's vision for your life is always unfolding. It is a vision that is not hindered by the limitations you may feel or the setbacks you may encounter. His plan is not contingent on your understanding of it right now. It will come to pass in His perfect timing. When you trust in the fact that God's vision for your life is bigger than what you see, you begin to walk with a sense of purpose and confidence. You understand that what you are experiencing today is not the full picture. It's just a part of the journey. God's vision takes into account all that you will become, the lessons you will learn, the relationships you will build, the growth you will experience, and the people you will impact. It is not a vision of mere survival or simple achievement. It is a vision of fulfillment and transformation. It is bigger than the disappointments you face and the struggles you endure. It is a vision that reaches into eternity, shaping not just your future, but the futures of others, impacting the world in ways you may never fully understand until you step into that divine plan. So when you feel discouraged or when the road ahead seems unclear, remember that what you see today is not all there is. God's vision for you is far greater, far richer, and far more beautiful than what you can comprehend in this moment. His vision for your life is a promise that extends beyond your present limitations into a future that is full of purpose, meaning, and impact. In the midst of life's struggles, it's easy to feel as though you are powerless, like you're at the mercy of circumstances and that things are happening to you rather than for you. Many people walk through life with a victim mentality, seeing themselves as helpless in the face of adversity, believing that the challenges they face define them. But the truth is that you are not a victim, you are a victim, you are a victor. This understanding is life-changing because when you realize who you are, everything shifts. You begin to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth and victory. The victim sees the world as something that controls them. They often feel as though they have no control over their circumstances, that their problems are insurmountable, and that they are being unfairly targeted by life. A victim mindset is one that believes that external forces determine your worth, your success, and your future. This perspective traps you in a cycle of self-doubt, fear, and defeat, because you believe that the difficulties you face are bigger than your ability to overcome them. The victim mentality convinces you that your past mistakes, your limitations, or the challenges you are currently facing will always define who you are and where you can go. But the reality is that you are more than your struggles, more than your setbacks, and more than your past failures. When you embrace the truth that you are a victor, you realize that your challenges are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. You are equipped to overcome anything that comes your way because you are not fighting this battle alone. God has already given you the tools, the strength, and the resilience you need to rise above any circumstance. The victory was secured for you long before you even realized it. The challenges you face do not have the power to define your outcome unless you allow them to. A victor knows that they have power within themselves, given by the Creator, to face adversity and come out on top. The strength to overcome is already inside of you. It's not about whether you will face challenges, it's about how you respond to them. As a victor, you understand that your response is what matters most. You can choose to rise above your circumstances, knowing that you are not defeated by them, no matter how hard the situation seems. Your perspective changes from one of survival to one of thriving. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones that will lead you to something greater. The victorious mindset is one that believes in the power of resilience, in the ability to bounce back, and in the certainty that no matter how many times you fall, you have the strength to rise again. A victor understands that setbacks are temporary, but the lessons learned from them are permanent. They understand that growth comes from overcoming difficulties, and that every challenge is an opportunity to get closer to their purpose. Each hurdle you overcome is a testimony of your strength and resilience, a reminder that you are capable of more than you ever thought possible. Being a victor is not about perfection, nor is it about avoiding difficulties. It is about knowing that no matter what happens, you are equipped to handle it. It's about having the confidence that no situation is too great to overcome, that you have the power within you to turn every setback into a comeback. When you see yourself as a victor, you shift your focus from the obstacles to the possibilities. You begin to look for solutions instead of dwelling on the problems. You become a problem solver, a person who believes that every challenge has a purpose and every difficulty can be turned into an opportunity for growth. Being a victor is also about perspective. It's about seeing your potential, even when the circumstances around you might suggest otherwise. It's about trusting that no matter how many times you stumble, you will get back up. You don't allow defeat to dictate your story because you know your story is not over. The fight you are in is not to destroy you, but to build your strength, to refine your character, and to prepare you for what is coming next. Life may not always be easy, but a victor never quits. They may face hardship, but they always press forward with hope, with faith, and with the certainty that they are moving toward victory. You were never meant to be a victim. You were created to be a victor. The challenges you face are simply opportunities for you to step into your purpose, to realize your strength, and to demonstrate that you have the power to overcome. When you embrace this identity as a victor, you stop seeing yourself as someone who is at the mercy of life's challenges, and instead you see yourself as someone who has the power to take those challenges head on and emerge victorious. There is nothing more powerful in the universe than the plan that God has designed for your life. His plan is not only eternal, but it is the force that governs everything in existence. It is the master blueprint from which all things are created, sustained, and directed. When you understand the true power of God's plan, you begin to realize that nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand in the way of what He has set in motion for you. His plan is not subject to the forces of this world or to human limitations. It is a force that transcends time and space, working behind the scenes and within you to bring about His perfect will. God's plan is all-encompassing and complete. It is not an afterthought or a backup plan. It is the original, intentional design that has existed before time began. From the beginning of creation, God's plan has been in motion, and nothing in the universe is powerful enough to derail it. His plan is the ultimate reality. It is the foundation upon which the entire universe rests. While everything in the world may be subject to change, God's plan remains constant, unshaken, and unstoppable. It is the force that holds everything together, orchestrating all things according to His will, bringing purpose and order to a seemingly chaotic world. This plan for your life is more powerful than anything else you can experience. It is not affected by the circumstances you face or the obstacles that may come your way. In fact, those very challenges are often part of God's plan to build you, to refine your character, and to prepare you for the greatness He has designed for you. What may seem like a detour or setback in your life is, in reality, a part of the greater process of fulfilling God's plan. It is an opportunity for growth, an invitation to trust Him more deeply, and to walk in alignment with His purpose. God's plan is designed with your best interest at heart, and every event in your life is working together for your ultimate good and His glory. What makes God's plan so powerful is its ability to bring transformation. It has the power to change lives, to heal brokenness, to restore hope, and to bring about miracles. When you align yourself with God's plan, you are tapping into a force far greater than anything you could accomplish on your own. His plan is not bound by human limitations or the laws of nature. It is a divine force that operates in the unseen realm, aligning circumstances, shifting hearts, and opening doors in ways that are beyond human comprehension. When you walk in step with this plan, you find yourself operating in a power that is greater than anything the world can offer. God's plan is not just for your individual life, it is interconnected with the greater purposes of the universe. Everything that happens in your life is part of a larger story, one that involves humanity, creation, and the fulfillment of His eternal purposes. His plan is not limited to your success or happiness. It encompasses the redemption of the world, the restoration of what was lost, and the ultimate establishment of His kingdom. You are a part of a greater movement, and the power of God's plan for your life is inextricably tied to the fulfillment of His ultimate purpose for all of creation. The power of God's plan is evident in its ability to break through the darkest moments. Even when things seem impossible, His plan remains intact. When you face difficulties, when the world around you is shaking, remember that God's plan is a force that is unshaken. No storm, no failure, no opposition can alter what God has ordained. His will cannot be stopped, and His plan cannot be thwarted. This is the same power that created the universe, the power that parted the Red Sea, the power that raised Jesus from the dead. It is the same power that is at work in your life, moving you toward the fulfillment of His perfect plan. When you understand that God's plan is the most powerful force in the universe, you begin to live with a different mindset. You walk in confidence, knowing that no matter what comes your way, you are held in the grip of a plan that cannot fail. You no longer have to fear the future, because God has already gone ahead of you. His plan for you is secure, and His timing is perfect. You may not always understand the path you are on, but when you trust in His plan, you can rest assured that it is the most powerful force guiding you toward your destiny. God's plan is not only powerful, but it is good. It is full of love, wisdom, and care. It is a plan designed for your benefit, to bring you into the fullness of who you were created to be. It will not fail because it is rooted in the perfect love and wisdom of God. When you surrender your life to His plan, you are placing yourself in the hands of the most powerful force in the universe, one that will guide you, protect you, and empower you to become everything He created you to be. In conclusion, the understanding that God's plan is the most powerful force in the universe brings a profound sense of peace and confidence. It reassures us that no matter the circumstances, setbacks, or challenges we face, we are never outside of His control. His plan for our lives is not just about achieving success, but about fulfilling a purpose far greater than what we can see. It is rooted in love, wisdom, and sovereignty, and it is unshakable, working both in and through us to bring about transformation and eternal significance. When we align ourselves with God's plan, we tap into the greatest power that exists, a power that transcends the limitations of this world and guides us toward our divine purpose. So trust in His plan, walk with confidence, and remember that you are part of something much bigger, something unstoppable, and filled with hope for the future.